All right, we have amazing weather. It's almost fall, so we have just, couldn't ask for better weather. So I finally got more time out here at the range at the house, and I got some sweet targets in from Caldwell Shooting Sports. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the brand. It's a major brand. It's been around for a long time, and the cool thing is they're fairly local to me. So we got the hookup with them, and we got a few targets in, so we got a lot of things we're gonna go over today, but the main thing that we're gonna check out is the plate rack that they make, and it's kind of a plate rack in a box. So I'll show you what we're talking about here. Check this thing out. So you get this box that's, a couple feet by a couple feet. It is a AR500 plate rack kit, and you put it together at your house with 2x4s. So I had some 2x4s, and then I actually had a giant piece of galvanized steel left over from another project, so I used it in place of the 2x4 there just to hold up a little longer. I probably am going to put a lot more rounds on this thing than most people do typically in the lifetime of a target that they purchase. So this is kind of a budget-friendly plate rack, and it's a good do-it-yourself, good at your own home range. It's not necessarily meant for like a range to use for matches or anything like that per se, because obviously with the 2x4s, those wouldn't hold up as long term. But for home, and especially the way I have it set up, this thing's gonna last us a long time. My favorite part, which I'll show you shooting, but my favorite part about these is after you shoot these targets, instead of them just going away, they flip down, and now they're shootable from the bottom side too. So they're kind of almost in a way self-resetting. They don't flip back up to the top as far as resetting goes, but you can shoot all three, ping, 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 and now you can shoot them from the bottom side. One of the other cool parts about this is that you can actually buy the expansion kit, so you can buy those plates on those hangers individually, and you can add as many more of those as you want. So we are going to be adding probably 3 more. We can only buy 1 right now because that's all that's in stock, but 1 by 1 we'll probably expand this thing and have it set up as a 6 plate rack, like an actual full plate rack. But this comes with 3 because, again, it's kind of budget minded. So with it being budget minded, with the 3, it kind of gives you a good start. You can still take 6 shots at it since they jump to the bottom like that. So I'm gonna put this on a tripod here because I don't have a cameraman today, but I will get some rounds on this thing so you can check it out in person. Before I do so, I will show you a couple other targets that we got from them. So we have their mini popper and their AR500 target stand with the IPSC 66% and the 33%. So those are the IPSC targets scaled down to size, and that is a little mini popper, 33%, I believe. So that thing's pretty cool. So I'm excited to get some more rounds on these. We just got these, so they only have a handful of rounds on them. We've spent most of our time on the plate rack. This has been a ton of fun. We've got a lot of rounds on this thing already. And again, we're gonna definitely have to do the expansion pack because I'm excited to get 6 plates put on here. I'll pull up the MSRP and go over that before I shoot it, but it was very affordable. It's a very easy to buy and set up and have at your own home range. So let's get the range and get some rounds down here. So again, we've got the AR500 steel plate rack kit. It shows what calibers everything's rated at what yardage. So we'll go over that as well. But this kit, the cool thing about it, for $275, you get everything that you see there, minus the 2x4s, and then obviously I put one of the pieces of galvanized steel in place of another 2x4, so you would normally have a 2x4 there. But it comes with the brackets to set that up. It comes with the hangers and the targets. They are AR500. They are rifle rated, depending on the distance, which we'll go over all of those caliber and distances here in a moment. But I'm gonna put some rounds on this thing with my handgun. I only have this thing set up at about 30 yards from the beginning of my shooting area right now. I didn't set it up on the rifle range, so it is more for pistols for me right now. We'll probably put it down in the rifle range eventually, but for now we've just kind of been having fun running the plate rack with pistols. So let's get this phone put on a tripod and get some shooting. All right, so we're gonna get loaded up here. I have my Watchtower Apache 1911 double stack. So this is basically Watchtower's version of a 2011. We got some normal 9mm loaded up here. I'll just put a few rounds down range here. I'm not gonna get too crazy, but just basically show you shooting from the top, it flipping down, and then being able to re-engage from the bottom. So let's get this loaded up and try it out. All right, that's my favorite part about it. You can obviously shoot it as a normal plate rack. You don't have to immediately go down and reset it to be able to continue shooting. You can pretty much continue shooting while they're on the bottom, or you can go down and reset them and flip them up and shoot them again as a normal plate rack. So I'm excited, like I said, to get 3 more on there and have a full plate rack of 6. And then you could basically do a drill where you shoot all 6 on the top, shoot all 6 on the bottom, 12-round drill. I'll probably do that with a reload in between. So 6 on top, reload, 6 on bottom. I think it'll be a great training and a lot of fun. I absolutely love shooting plate racks. I love shooting steel. And this is a very affordable, easy to do at home plate rack. So from Caldwell Shooting, I think they did a great job on this one, and I'm so excited to use this for years to come. So I was in the market for a couple of years, really, for a good plate rack, and there was a couple things that it needed, some criteria that it needed to meet for me. The price had to be right because it's just for our home range, and most of our shooting is done at other ranges and at matches, but our practice is done at home. But I wanted to be able to do some practice on plate racks at home. The other criteria is it needed to be rifle rated because I want to practice some offhand rifle, because some of the matches we shoot have a shoot-off style event that happens concurrently with the match where you're shooting offhand rifle, 75, 80 yards, something like that, on a plate rack. And so I wanted to be able to practice that, something I've never actually been able to practice. So I didn't want to spend an arm and a leg. We spend enough money on other, guns, ammo, gear, you name it. We spend a lot of money. So I wanted something affordable. This fit every need that it needed for me, and actually ended up doing more for me than I anticipated. Again, right now, it's only the 3 plates, but being able to expand it as we want to and add those 3 other plates, and also being able to immediately be able to shoot the 3 plates, let them fall, and then shoot however many more times we want, because they're gonna be presented still at the bottom side. It was everything that I needed. So this worked out perfectly. I got very fortunate that I had a scrap piece of giant thick galvanized steel that I could use in place of a 2x4. So it's probably gonna last me forever. Normally you would use 2x4s to put the entire thing together. 2x4s are cheap enough that luckily if you shoot one through and it breaks, you just replace the 2x4. The way I have it set up, I'll probably never have to replace it. But if you're looking at getting this kit, don't let that prevent you just because you don't have a big piece of steel to put there. Just put a 2x4. It's cheap. You can go buy an 8, 6 foot 2x4 already cut at your local hardware store and put it together. That's the only thing missing from this kit is the 2x4. So buy those, put the kit together. It's rated for handgun at 10 yards and further, 44 mag at 10 yards and further. It's rated for 223 at 100 yards and further, 6.5 Creedmoor at 200 yards and further, and 308 Winchester. So my 223 at 100 yards at 55 grain is acceptable. This is gonna work out perfectly for us. You can set the kit obviously with the height of the legs at whatever height you want. So you can get in there, you can make it taller, you can make it shorter. You could, this one's going on a tall, kind of, not necessarily a berm, but kind of on a hill that I have over here, which is why it looks so short right now. Once I get it set where it's actually going, it's gonna be at the exact height that I want it for a plate rack. So that worked out perfectly for me. I can cut the legs to whatever length I want. This thing, if you decide you wanna take this to a friend's house, it would be nothing to take this apart, put it in the back of a trunk of a car and take this with you, as long as, the whatever board length you use would fit in the back of a vehicle. Easy to put in the back of a truck. So this kit it does everything that I need it to do. Very cool, very exciting. So anyways, that concludes my quick review on this Caldwell plate rack kit. We're gonna have some more things from Caldwell that we'll review because they are here fairly local to us. And we kind of got a bunch of their stuff that we're going to be doing one at a time. And they are owned by a company here in Missouri that owns a lot of other brands. So there'll be some other brands of stuff that we'll review as well down the road. But I'm excited to get you guys some information on this stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, reach out. If you have